Hey everyone, Deadpine here. Welcome to Escaping Tarkov, where we're going to go through our full entire playthrough of Escape from Tarkov on a brand new standard edition account. We're not going to cut out anything. It's going to be all the raids, all the deaths, all the looting, stash organizing, my strategies, my general guides and tips on how I like to play. This is by no means going to be the 100% correct way to play, but that's the key to Tarkov, is there is no 100% correct way to play. It's really how you have fun. But this might be a good guide for somebody who's brand new to the game, kind of my general strategies for the beginning. And yeah, it's going to be, like I said, everything, 100%. So, all right, this is the screen you get when you first purchase the game. Download it, install, log on in. Going to choose English. I don't know what nickname we're going to go to. Probably just Deadpine something, Deadpine YouTube or YT or something like that. Just for this season, we'll get clever names later, because this is going to be completely on YouTube, which is new to me as a full-time Twitch streamer. Doing something specifically for YouTube is different for me. So you got your choice between Bear and Yusek. So now the difference between these two guys is Bear is all in Russian. Yusek is all in English. So this one allows you to communicate with other players easily if you're in NA or Europe where you speak English. Bear, the only advantage I can think of is that you can pretend to be a scav at some points, but people who really know the game aren't going to get fooled by that. So it really doesn't matter. It's up to you. We're going to go Bear because my main account on my Twitch stream is Yusek, so just going to change it up a little bit here. So, and that's it. That's really the only choices, your name and what faction you're in. And here in a second, we're going to get to our main area here. I'm actually going to pop on the music. I don't usually have the music on for streaming, so it gives some nice background noise there. So you got a couple buttons on this menu. These gears down in the bottom right-hand corner, they are your settings. I'm not going to go over these too much, but as of right now, these are what my settings are. You don't have to copy them. You can if you want. I have a very good computer, so I would just mess and try to see what's better for you FPS-wise. I'm sure there's some guides out there on YouTube, etc., etc. So I'll just go over all these. Like I said, nothing crazy. I'm not playing in ultra high settings. It's mostly trying to be as friendly for stream as possible. Streaming runs into the issue of not having enough bit rate, so I tend to play on a lot less. I play on borderless just for easier controls as well. But if you're playing at home, you might want to do full screen, so games tend to run better in full screen. This is my post FX settings. Just clarity all the way up, everything else at normal. Zeros is normal. And then sound volume levels, again, this is all really based on your PC. Now, controls, I didn't change too much. I did change a little bit. I'm on hold ADS, just something I got used to playing PUBG. I did change my delete key to U. Let's see if I can find where that is. It's in there somewhere. There it is. Discard. I changed that to U. It's also your delete key. This makes it easier to discard stuff while you're in raid. So when you get something out of your backpack, you have to right-click discard. You can just hit U real quick. That's a good one to have. I have my toggle. I believe it's toggle reticle. So it's zoom in, zoom out, and it changes the color of your reticle on some scopes. I thought it was set to my mouse button there, just for easier zooming in, zooming out. Yeah, mouse 3. Change scope magnification, mouse 3 there. I believe that's it. I also swapped my reload weapon to control reload, or control R, and then combat reload. So you ditch your mag on the ground, it reloads faster. I had that on regular R. So the idea being that, like, if I need to, this is slightly faster if you don't have it set to double tap R. You could also change your combat reload to control R. It would be a lot faster. So just one of those little tiny things. Again, I wouldn't worry about it. Default settings are perfectly fine for this game. They actually did a really good job with all the controls. Mouse sensitivity, all that stuff, that is entirely up to you. That is what you're comfortable playing with. There's no right or wrong. It's what you're comfortable playing with. So yeah, that's the settings. So they got these. This is your Escape from Tarkov menu, where you get your access to your scavenger, your main PMC. And yeah, this guy doesn't, you can get found in raid items, stuff like that, but you don't gain experience. You don't level your character, which is, I like leveling that. We are going to be doing a lot of scav runs, but we are going to be doing, at some point, we're going to start focusing on our PMC a lot more just to get tasks done, which are like one of the keys to this game. We're actually going to skip the character screen. We're going to go right to trading. So you got a couple dealers here. Jaeger you'll unlock later from a mechanic quest. But while you're here, you want to go grab these first two tasks. Your first one's from Preppers, called Debut. Basically need to kill 5 scavs on customs and hand over 2 MP133 shotguns. Nothing crazy, but it kicks you off on your starts, on your tasks, gets you going that way. And the first task that you can accept is from a therapist, which is find 5 Soleil kits. Now, when it says find and not find in raid, it doesn't matter where you get it from. It can be handed in. Excuse me. So, yeah, find and raid is the key one on that, which will come up later. We'll explain it then. So, also while you're in here, you see a lot of stuff's grayed out, which is quite bad. This is a 100% brand new, fresh account, just been purchased. So I have to discover everything. I don't know what the right term for this is. Examine everything. I guess it's the term. So middle mouse wheel. Don't go through and right click examine. Trust me, it takes forever. I would just pop on a movie, pop on your favorite YouTuber, pop on your favorite streamer, whoever, and just run through, get everybody, all the dealers done here, which we're going to do here. Like I said, this is not going to be an uncut version. I'm going to keep talking while I do this about other stuff, but this is what I'm going to do in the background here. So, and the reason you want to do this is because, say you're in a raid and you're using a Keter, which is what this mag goes to, and you don't have it examined, you can't reload in raid until you have that examined. So that extra second in raid can cost you, right? So I would recommend coming through here, examining everything from the dealers, and then just examining stuff as you get it. You only ever have to do it once on your account, even from wipe to wipe now. It doesn't even get reset, so you can just only have to do it once. The nice thing is you do get experience from this. So if you are newer, that little boost up in experience is nice. So therapist doesn't have too much. Prepper and mechanic I think have the most at the start. So yeah. So general strategy. So obviously you have one task that's on customs. Go kill scavs on customs. That is a fine place to go. It's not the greatest. It's very difficult. You have to avoid players on there if you want to do well early on because lack of armor, lack of good bullets. So I think we are going to try going there with our first AK. You get given one AK on a standard account. You don't get multiples. If you're playing Edge of Darkness, you have a few guns and stuff to use there. But we're going to have one AK to work with. And then once we lose that AK on customs, which we'll probably lose in the first raid, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's probably going to happen. We'll probably end up going to factory just to level up a little bit, get some kits going. I'll show you guys a trick with a pistol that you can do to, as a PMC, gain a new kit or a new gun relatively easily. But that'll probably be after the first few raids. And I'm going to try to keep these, so talking about the series, Escaping from Tarkov, I'm probably going to try to keep these episodes around an hour or so. I don't mind them being longer. Honestly, I personally, as a YouTube viewer, I like long episodes. I know some people do as well. And because the editing for these is minimal, i.e. it's because everything's uncut, you guys get to see everything. It's like an unabridged book. It's not that hard it's just a matter of recording time, right? So it's not that hard to get these episodes out there in that length. So we'll see. We'll see. And while you're watching, if you're like, oh, I don't like the way you organize, skip, use that fast forward function on YouTube. I will not be insulted. This is more just, I'm having fun producing this than anything else. So this guy's fence. So you can sell fence just about every item in the game. He does not buy it for much. And whatever he buys, he actually sells for a ridiculous upcharge. Which is crazy, but it's there. This antique axe, so my old strategy, I don't know how well it works anymore because there's still a lot of hatchet runners and pistonings on other maps. My old strategy was to, well, hopefully that keeps going through, was to sell everything, buy a hatchet, and just do factory runs. The scavs will all rush you because you're tagged and cursed. Hopefully, if you get a good enough spawn or only one scav rushes you or you don't bump into too many players, you can one-tap the scav of the head. If you double-click this, it does 44 stab damage. A player's head has 35 health, so if you right-click with your hatchet here, it one-shots him if you hit him in the head or in the face. Now, helmets do protect against melee attacks, so something to keep in mind, but it's a good way to, not lose it. And the key is you don't lose a hatchet when you die. Your melee slot is like your pouch container, which will go over on the character screen, but that doesn't get lost there. So, but you'll find, generally speaking, a bunch of crappy armor that skier doesn't buy. They'll all have, they'll all have low health, etc. So, and I wouldn't recommend buying anything from Fence, except for maybe this hatchet early on. That's about it, because everything else you'll be able to get for cheaper on the flea market later, which will happen when you get to level 10. So, not a big deal. We'll go back there. Okay, that was Fence. Let's go on to Skier. Again, these guys don't have too much. They will, and we'll examine them as we go forward. And yeah, should be fun. Should be fun. Here we go. Okay, Peacekeepers next. Brown-handled knives are this is a good trade. You get brown-handled knives from Scavs mostly. This is a good early game trade. You don't even need anything but extra mags and extra bullets for this thing to be good. It works great right off the bat. Good fire rate. You can get reasonable 9x19 ammo. I'm not going to say it's the best in the world. It's not even close to meta or going to take on crazy geared players, but it's great for killing scavs, and it's perfectly fine against mid to low geared players, and you still have a chance against geared players with the right ammo. So it's one of those, like, it covers all the spectrums, but doesn't quite get there against the crazy geared players. You're going to die more often than not. It gives you an opportunity, at least. So, all right, keep examining here. I want to take a second to talk about this shotgun trade here while I examine. This shotgun trade is 2 elite pliers and a red screwdriver. Mechanic's first task is to build a pistol grip shotgun that essentially uses all of these parts. You have to take off the flashlight, put on a laser, take off the stock, put on a pistol grip, and you're done pretty much. So these 3 items really off the bat are really important. So when you do hit level 5, you can get that done, and that unlocks a bunch of other stuff. That unlocks the Jaeger task to unlock Jaeger, which his tasks are annoying, but they give you a lot of experience, stuff like that. So just one of these. This can be a gate on progression-wise. Now, of course, when you hit level 10, you could have access to these on the flea market. At the start of the wipe, which we're a few weeks out of the wipe now, but at the start of the wipe, these items were ridiculously high. In fact, this trade used to be 4 elite pliers. Elite pliers were something like 100,000 rubles. This further into the wipe now, not that many people working on it. This is like 50,000 rubles to complete, and you get everything going there. So, like I said, you just need a pistol grip for that. So we'll go over that if we find a pistol grip shotgun. So, and last but not least, Ragman. So this is where you're going to get your armors, contacts. I guess I should go over what the dealers had, huh? Clothing, backpacks, rigs to put mags in, tactical rigs, stuff like that. So your basic setup here is going to be a pack armor, this SSH 68 helmet. Now, I actually prefer this guy, the 6B47, but I like using this trade. So once you get access to crafting bleach in your hideout, it's actually a really easy way to get cheap helmets. I think it comes down to about, I want to say it's like 10K, 15K a helmet. I haven't done the math on it yet. And these are essentially the same helmets. This one has more durability, but this one protects your ears. And people tend not to take them as well. But as long as you're trading for the bleach, it's worth it. This went up in price. This used to be 17,000 rubles. Now that's 21,000 rubles. I think it's almost even worth buying it at 30,000 rubles at Ragman level 2. But I don't want to harp on that. So I do actually like these contacts. I don't love them, but they get the job done. Sound is everything in this game, especially when you're undergeared. Being able to hear people coming or take an angle is great. So this is my usual setup armor-wise from that. So, all right. Well, that was all the dealers. Prapper kind of has a lot of Russian guns. You don't really sell much to him unless you need to get his rep up. So at the top here, you have your dealer rep here. So you need to be a certain level, and you need to have a certain amount of money spent with them and a certain amount of reputation. So all 3 are not there. They're all red for level 2. So we're stuck at level 1 here. But yeah, he's got some good trades. Early on good trades. This guy's not bad. This used to be a lot cheaper. It's actually quite expensive now. This AKM is actually quite worth it if you get these 3 Tushunka. Getting an early on AKM is good. Yeah, so Nothing crazy there. Therapist is your medic. She has all of the meds, the food. It's really just all medical items. She has a lot of cases as well. So her on level 2, so 13, 15 loyalty, 400k spent is where you get your Scav junk box. So yeah, that's a really powerful one as well. Getting all that going, so should be good. And fence, like I went over fence before. Skier has like a weapons has a lot of good weapons attachments, which is good. Peacekeeper is like the NATO stuff, so your M4s, your M9s, the American stuff. But he deals in dollars, so you can buy dollars right from him to convert over. He's got a lot of tasks later that gives you a ton of dollars back. So, but he'll be where you're getting your M4s and stuff from. Mechanic has a lot of good barter trades for weapons. He like kind of barters for complete weapons here. The first few, besides this one, are not the greatest. But later on, he's got some really good barter trades. In fact, my preferred M4 comes from him. It's a Bitcoin and a GP coin, and you sell some stuff, put some different attachments on it. It's like a great M4. Takes little to no work to get going, and it's well worth the price. And like I said, Ragman was all of the clothing there. So, yeah, we are going to go to the character screen. So this is the first time we've been in the character screen here. They start you off with an AKS 74U. You get your alpha container. So anything you put in here cannot be... You get to keep it if you die, essentially. So I usually like to load that up with some meds. Load that up with our extra ammo. We're going to equip holding Alt and left clicking. We'll auto-equip from one screen to another, including in raid. And we're just going to go in this AKSU on the customs and see what we can do. It's very likely that I'm going to lose this, and then we're going to have to rebuild our gear here because we only have pistols left over after that. So we're gonna rebuild our gear with these PM pistols and these garages, and our scav runs. Our scav runs are going to be key. So let's go see what's available on customs here. So this is your map. You've got the lab, which requires a key card, woods, interchange, customs, factory, reserve, shoreline. Street to Tarkov are coming soon. Lighthouse is coming soon. And yeah, should be a lot of fun here. So let's go into customs. You can do, these are in military time. If you're in NA, normal time for anywhere else in the world. We're going to go in the morning because we don't have night vision, or we're not doing any pertinent tasks besides killing scavs. And it's going to be just easier to work with in the daytime. Plus it's easier for the viewer. So we're going to hit next there. You could do an offline raids if you're wanting to learn the maps and the extracts. The Escape from Tarkov wiki has some great maps for visuals on spawns and extracts. So I would recommend, if you're nervous about that kind of stuff, go into an offline raid and just hit the enable just to learn the extracts. I wouldn't do it to learn like PvP. Well, obviously you can't learn PvP, but I wouldn't do it to learn like scavs. Scavs act differently when... I guess you could do it to learn scavs just a little bit, but the raids are going to be way different when there's players involved. So learning extracts, yes, but I wouldn't waste time on learning how to kill scavs. You could do that in raid. It's going to be relatively the same. So, okay, on to the next screen here. So we got our insurance screen here. Now, just based on my recording schedule, well, all right, let's go into insurance. So how does insurance work? When you insure an item, so say I insure this AKS SU, it'll insure all the stuff that's in it, so all the mags, all that whatnot. If I were to die or drop this on the ground and no other player scav or player picks this up and brings it out of raid, I get that back in a time period. So if I hit insure all here, anything I die with that's on the ground in the raid, when the timer hits 0, that's the key. So when the timer hits 0, that instance of the raid is over, or that instance of customs is over, you get your stuff back, which is cool. It's a good way to do it, especially when you're using this lower end stuff. It gets a little bit of value back. The money you spend is way worth it. People don't take this stuff all that often. You'll get a lot of your early game items back. And then, of course, it has that protection against if you die to a scav or a scav boss, or randomly or whatever, or the player who killed you just didn't loot you. Like there's a lot of scenarios where you don't get looted and your stuff stays in the raid and you get it back. Now, that said, because I'm recording this and not playing it live every single day, just about, I'm gonna insure with therapists. Now, it costs more to insure with therapists, but she holds it for longer. Prepper will hold it, I think it's like 24 to 48 hours. I don't remember the exact length of time that he holds it in his inventory for you for. Therapist holds it almost a week. So if I record twice a week, I'm going to have more time to get it back, and I won't lose as much stuff, because it's not worth insuring if I'm not going to be able to get my insurance back. So, and I know some people don't get to play every day, so, or, you know, get to log in every day to collect their insurance. So therapist may be worth it better for you. She also returns it faster. So she'll return it in this. And this gets even faster after that if you were to load in and go with your hideout upgrades as well. So should be good there. So we're going to hit insure all. Because I do like using insurance. It is a good way to net some money back and had to soften the blow a little bit. This is if you're going to look for a group of a random person, or if you're trying to meet up with a friend. This is where you do it. We're playing this whole thing solo, so we're not even going to worry about that. I'm going to hit this ready button. It's going to take us to our load-in screen here. This takes a couple minutes. This is the only part of the series that I'm going to cut out. And yeah, so you guys are just going to get all the action. No load-in times, which is great for you guys. So I'll catch you guys in raid. So once you get into all that loading stuff, you'll get this get ready screen here. Means you're about to get into raid. Also, if you get this screen, it means you're not going to late load, which is an issue they're working on right now. Trying to figure out the best way to solve that. Sometimes as a PMC, you can come in a few minutes late here. So, okay, so we spawned on... I'm going to try to read the exact spawn names. Railroad to Port is where we spawn next to. Now, this is actually a really good dorm spawn if you're playing with dorms. And by the way, this playthrough is not meant to be pure tutorial. This is meant to be... for people who have played before and are just looking for how I like to play, but also still be kind of useful to a newer player. So I'm not going to go over every little thing, and I'm going to make some assumptions of what you guys know. And I've only been playing the game since November, so I don't even, I don't think anybody can know everything about the game. Okay. Some not so great shooting there, but this Scav was using a shotgun that we need for a quest. So we're just going to do that. So if you can, when you're looting... Interesting. It did, maybe that was the errors we were getting? If you can fit everything in your bag and then search your stuff away from your shots, that's actually a really powerful position to be in. So, one Scav kill down, and our first one was an MP133 shotgun, which is awesome. Got to go prone right here. Stay safe in the grass here so we can search. Also, I need to reload this mag, top it off. So you can do multiple stuff like this. It helps. Oh, this guy had Magnum buckshot. All right. It's actually pretty good. Pretty solid buckshot there. We're going to throw this sling and the Scav vest on the ground. We don't really need them. So, this gun has a ton of kick, by the way, for Tarkov. Tarkov kick is actually not that high. If you play something like PUBG, you'll probably do alright with it. It's a lot of left and right kick, though. Unfortunately, so... Okay, so this is new construction over here. The general flow of the map is this way to this way. So this side's the boiler side, this side's the big red or the custom side. I want to try to get over into the old gas station area so we're closer to our extracts, and then we can kind of work that way, but also, like, leave quickly if we need to. That said, I might have some secret caches on the way. So that's people fighting in dorms there. They're generally going to leave you alone out here. Generally speaking, unless you're, like, super obvious to them. So those muffled gunshots, those are in dorms. We're not even going to think about going into there. We're just trying to get through our raids and get out, you know? That's a car battery. Okay. And BP rounds are fantastic. Car batteries, in-raid car batteries, that little check mark, in-raid car batteries are definitely useful. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Up on top there is a sniper Scav. Always like checking for him before we go in. And this is why people say Customs is a brutal starting map, and it is. Because it's so narrow, there's really not many directions to go, and there's nowhere to really hide. There's nowhere to really, like, take a breather. And that's not a bad way to have it. It's just it's all the early game tasks are on here, or most of them. Not the cache here. So like it makes it difficult for new players who are just like, I'm just trying to find extract, and then you know suddenly they're getting blindsided by an angle they didn't know about, and that's a bit rough, you know. It's a bit rough. I'm gonna start saving batteries, if I can, for questing or for the Mosin, for questing later. But that said, they're currently working on the customs expansion. So this is like a narrow strip of land here. We're going to get all that going on the other side there eventually. Where the sniper scav and the towers are, which is really exciting, actually. It's going to open up the map, make it a little easier for new players doing their quests. But they're also going to revamp the quest system, too. So the game's going to be constantly changing and innovating. Okay, so that's over by old gas station. Which is actually good. That means we can get past them and past gas station here. And honestly, this MP133 shotgun right now is like pure gold, to be honest. So if I can get out with just this, I'm going to be extremely happy. So this is new gas station. Little crossover there. Barbed wires don't hurt too much if you don't stand in them too long. And it's not a bad place to be at, so gonna hit up another secret cache here. We'll keep going. And then we'll keep going. More Magnum buckshot. Not gonna say no to that. A lot of scavs, a lot of players like to patrol in that area. Okay. So up on the tower there, I know it's hard to see, but I was looking for him, so I saw him. Gotta worry about this scav now. I guess we'll just get closer. We definitely hit him. I see blood on there. There we go. So there's a sniper scav that fell down over there. That's another place that sniper scavs spawn. Just a place to keep an eye on. Scavs are very vocal. So even just hearing them, I'm actually going to take this out. These BP rounds are worth a ton to us, even if they're not found in raid. All right, make sure our gun goes back on full auto. That's a Taz. Nah. I'm not gonna fight it. Another scav there. Let's get our thorax healed up there. So our pack armor did some work, right? That's the idea. That scav's right on the other side here. Alright, got him on one. Very good. Now, do we be greedy and go back and loot that guy? It sounded like he had a decent gun, so I think I'm going to be. Before we cross back on over. So Taz's are really loud and they sound like they're hurting a lot, but they actually don't. Okay. I have no idea, to be honest. He's broken both my legs, though. So sometimes scavs can be a little funky with their... Well, oh, I should have done the leg. Shoot. It's got to prioritize the arm, isn't it? That's one thing I don't like about... Their automated healing system here does not do what it needs to do. That should have prioritized the leg. The leg helps me run. Okay. Sounds like he's coming over to us, which is good. Okay. Just where we want to be at. That armor is better than ours. Okay, we're gonna fold the 74M. Grab that. It's a really decent weapon. Okay, grab the mags. All right, let's limp on out of here. I can't actually run here because, again, the splint prioritized the wrong thing for us. Make sure I'm full auto here. I'm actually gonna do a little reload. Make sure we're topped up. Okay. That is 4 scavs, though. So if we can kill one more scav over to our right here, that would be fantastic. Not going to loot the Taz scav. A little bit more exposed, and I just want to get towards the extract here. Those look like... This almost look like raiders. That's weird. You know what I'm going to do here? We're going to ditch this for insurance fraud, and we're going to put this there. Okay, Alt-T checks. Oh, these have BT in them. That's really good rounds. So I just laid down a bunch of fire there for covering fire. I didn't have any plans of winning that spray. There was 2 of them there. I'm gonna try to get over into this mound of grass here. The problem is I don't have painkillers or a second splint. Very interesting. Never seen scavs stand there either. I have no idea where they went to. Oh, I just heard one to my left here. Crap. I gotta get this one to my left. There's only a pistol scav. I've just never seen him stand there, which is weird. Okay, these straight for MP5s. So I hear, this is why contacts are good. I hear him walking around over here. So I get a much better idea. So he's on the other side of the train here then. Well, we completed our task debut. Which is good. I see him right behind the wheels of the train here. Closer suits us, I think. Yeah, with the blurred vision, it was tough to tell what they had. This helmet's not very good. It really does look like the good helmet, you know? But, yeah. Okay, gonna ditch our bag for insurance fraud here, which will also let us stack this. So stacking rigs inside of backpacks is actually pretty powerful. I would recommend doing it, if I'm being honest. Gonna grab that. I can't, unfortunately, grab this Keter. We're gonna drink some apple juice here. This will restore your, I know it's behind me, restores your hydration and energy, which is vital for leveling your metabolism, which is good for the hideout. Also, it just makes it drain slower when you're in raid, so that's good. Okay, gonna limp on over to the van here. Gotta start worrying about player scavs at this time. They can actually spawn in quite early. But they're definitely going to be spawning at this stage. So he's on the other side of the fence there. Sounds like anyway. So I'm not going to loot those PCs. I was just checking for flash drives. I find them to be pretty frequent in that. We're gonna get into this building here. This has not been looted. It means whoever spawned over here. Oh, that was bad. Unfortunately, I think this is a... Oh, wow, that's really powerful. Okay. Didn't have to buy our axe. That is quite powerful. Unfortunately, this is a MP153 shotgun. That said, though, I think what we can do here is a little bit of finickiness. We're going to ditch that. We're going to put this guy here, and we're going to keep that. So this way, when we find the... shotguns are decent to use, but we're using it to keep the stock. If we can get the stock... Sorry, if we can get a pistol grip stock, we're going to want to take it off, even if it's a pump shotgun. But that extra stock means I can take it off without having to really worry about it. I'm gonna keep walking backwards here. He might push around that corner. Might not, but it's again, that's another 153 shotgun, so nothing really there for us. And I really just want to get out of this raid. Fix this broken leg. Try not to get one tapped by a scav. So the lesson learned in this one is definitely make sure when you only have one split, make sure you heal your leg. Make sure you heal it, because I could be running right now. I could be running through all of this right now. No problem. Again, there's a few caches here, but I'm trying to... self-imposed rule here. I'm trying not to be as greedy as I usually am. Alright, got him there in one. If you're far enough away from them, sometimes it takes them a while to realize that you're aiming at them, so if you're at that right sweet spot of distance or far enough away, take your time with your shot. Make sure you get that headshot, get him down in one. Yeah. No really other advice there. Cache in that corner right there. Some cache behind some pipes over here. Some cache over in that corner there. Again, we're going to skip them because my mobility's low. My mobility was high. I'd probably do that. This is the ZB1011 extract. This is the one that's always there. The ZB1012 and the old gas station are temporary ones. They may or may not be there. So, extra campers sometimes are there. Just be wary. Don't think when you're in the cage that you're safe. There can be people down here. So, hey, I'll take it, man. We got our first raid in, and we survived. That's a big win. That's a big win. We got all of our scav kills. We got one MP133 shotgun. That's you really can't ask for much more on your first raid. You really can't. Maybe like beating the scav boss minions and boss, but like, plus 4,000 EXP. As you can see, we leveled once from examining all the items, and then we leveled again from that, which is kind of nuts. So 8 scav kills, avoided players as best we could, really by just getting in front of everything, and then kind of hooking over to where people just left. And we got a little lucky on the timing of our crossover, you know. Very easily could have been a player there who just was late on rotation or decided to hang around or whatever, you know. So, yeah, good stuff. I am going to use that after raid healing to remove the splint, or the the leg there. Oh, man. Crazy. There is a task later on where you have to get headshots while having the tremors effect go active. Having a broken limb then is useful, but that's really the only time having a broken limb is useful. Because, you know, I love having my arm broken. Okay, cool. Got a car battery. This is going to be great for later. So, one other thing I want to do here is I'm going to grab all of this. I like having all of my barter items at the top of my stash. So when I'm sorting after a raid, what I can do is just shift-click over, just like so. Or, sorry, not shift, control-click over. Shift is Minecraft. I play a lot of Minecraft, too. Control-click over, and, yeah. This axe a big win. That if we ever zero out on everything, I could take that axe in the factory and make some money. So, that'll be good. But yeah, I like to have, like, all my guns, bags, armors, stuff that I have to think about what I want to do before doing it at the bottom. Things I know I'm just going to jam into a scav junk box or sell, I want to be at the top. So, yeah. That's really how it goes. This is actually pretty decent. The Magnum buckshot's actually pretty decent. Now, I'm not going to sell that axe, but we're not going to use it. So, BP's great if we're using SKS. It's got some good stuff going there. This press armor is actually quite powerful. Level 3 armor, repairs quite well, has pretty decent durability. Obviously, it's blue and says press on it, but like whatever, that's fine. And the battery is useful for later on as well. Gonna put all of our pistols up in here. Again, these are to get kits from factory, which will be good. That said, though, we're probably going to be using mostly our scav runs to do that as well. So there may come a point where I never do that. Maybe I'll do one as an example run in a future episode. But right now, I really want to use my scav early and often early. To start looking for specific items. So we're going to do this with this shotgun. First, examine everything. Second, we're going to take off this stock. So this means when I find a pistol grip stock, because I need that pistol grip stock for a quest, we'll be able to, if it's on a MP133 shotgun, and this is like crazy min-maxing, by the way. You don't have to worry about this really, but it does help. If I get a pistol grip MP133 shotgun, I'm going to want to turn that one into Prepper for a task, but I also want to use that to craft with for mechanics for a task. So now that I have this, whenever I find that pistol grip shotgun, I can just take the pistol grip off, wait till I have my barter, we're good to go. So before turning in here, now this did have the Magnum buckshot in there, so I want to actually like unload all of that and put that back in there. We're going to hand that shotgun in. I do want to save this 8.5 Magnum buckshot. So the reason this is good is each pellet has the capability. It does, I believe it's 38-inch damage. I can't remember the exact number, but each pellet has a chance to headshot somebody and one-tap them. So if they're not wearing a face shield, each pellet is lethal in the head. With 7mm buckshot, it's not quite the case. Like, they can survive one pellet to the head there. So I like that for that reason. It seems to perform better for me than slugs do anyway. So, two-handed task. We're going to go to Prepper, turn in this shotgun. We already got our scav kill, so we don't have to actually go back to customs if we don't want to, which probably won't be, actually. And then, so, selling. This is a big one. This is a big one. So, when I sell my guns, I like to disassemble them. You have to know all the parts to disassemble them fully, so make sure everything's examined there. So when they're disassembled here, the order that you're going to sell stuff in, therapist, skier, then mechanic. That's kind of the go-to order. There's some debate on whether mechanic or peacekeeper is better, but that's really if you want dollars or not. But therapist, we're not selling it to the therapist yet, but she offers the best for food items. This is pre-flea market. Flea market sometimes have better stuff too. This is just specifically dealers. Meds, all that kind of stuff. Any barter items, she's usually good to go. Gold items, she's good to go with. And then the next is Skier, which is why you want to disassemble. Skier doesn't buy guns. He only buys parts and barrels. But he gives a reasonable amount. We're going to sell this fake mustache. The rules are worth more to us. We'll get another one later. It is a barter for the Kappa container. We're miles and miles and miles away from that, so don't worry about that. And then mechanic soaks up the gun and the rest of the parts that Skier doesn't buy. That's, again, marginally efficient on how you get your items going there. Like I said, I'm going to keep all these barter trade items at the top, stuff we need for our hideout, etc. I'm actually going to sell the ripstop. We don't need it yet. We don't have access to the flea market yet, but it's just when you have a standard size stash, it's small. It's hard to get into. So, okay, so now that we've successfully completed our first PMC raid here, we're gonna go do our scav here. Not a bad, good-looking gun. It's got a rail for a sight. It's got a rail for a grip. Like, not bad. So I'm gonna take these into factory. Factory's all indoors, so you don't have to choose between the two. We're just do daytime, and yeah, just gonna hit the ready button, and I will see you guys in raid. All right, here we go. Just loaded in. Scav doesn't give you the countdown timer. Oh, we need to get out now. Scav doesn't give you a countdown timer, so sometimes I'm short on the reaction there. Gate 3 or camera bunker door. All right, this might be a little risky. Let's go for... Actually, gate 3 is right here. The reason I'm so excited is those are... Yeah, fairly beat up. Okay, nobody's camping. Nice. This will be a run-through, no problem. We're planning on using all the stuff we get here. It's just 2 Salo kits for our therapist task is great. And I know that's such a crazy quick run-through, but if you get something like that for an early game task... Oh, I actually survived because of the exploration bonuses. That's amazing. That's actually really funny. But yeah, because of everything going on there, like, we're good, you know? We're good. I just want to get out. I want to use our stuff. Also, that VPO is actually quite powerful. We just need to get some mags and some bullets for it. And it's a much better SKS, in my opinion. Plus, we have the rail for it and everything, which is... Honestly, that's a really solid early game gun. So we're going to leave that down there. But yeah, like I said, these Salo kits are just epic. They're also kind of used as well, so we don't even need to worry about, like, saving them. We could just hand them right in. And that'll be pretty wonderful. Yeah. Nice. That was sick. All right, selling all this. Black handle knives only trade for pistols, so don't have to worry about too much about that. Therapist doesn't buy any of these things, so we're just going to sell to here. 15K for that mask is pretty good. That actually does block like low-level shotgun blasts and stuff like that, but not my deal. So Jaeger is where you want to sell your melee weapons to, but we don't have Jaeger unlocked, so we're just going to sell defense, mostly just to get rid of it out of our inventory here. While we're here, we might as well examine some of these things. Nah, that's too many. Too many. Okay, let's get ready for our next raid here. What do we want to do? So we need one more shotgun. That's can be found on any scav. Let's do a. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one of my little famed. I don't know. It's not really famed. Anybody can really do this. I'm gonna do something that I've discovered in playing hardcore Tarkov. And we're gonna take in one of these pistols. And we're gonna use the scavs. We're going to use scavs against them. We're going to use their aggro against them. These masks, you need like 7 or so that are found in raids, so save them early. If you have room. If you don't, no worries. This was supposed to be sold. Don't need this. We'll sell that up in a minute. So basically, what you do is you gear up here. Let's get some painkillers from Therapist. That broken leg issue we had, those would help with that. You would take damage while you sprinted, but, well... It's all good. What's this guy working with? Wow, they're actually working with BP too. That's crazy. So this is your loadout. This is your gear. And when you go in, that's actually not a bad scav as well. When you go in, you're going to become something called tagged and cursed, where the scavs will try to rush you down, gun you down because you're considered a hatchling or something like along those lines. Use that to your advantage. You hide in a corner. Or close to a corner of like a doorway or some sort of turn. They rush around the corner, you headshot them, take their gear, done. You're done. I was about to say Bob's your uncle, but it didn't. I guess that kind of sounds right. I don't know. It sounded weird in my head. But yeah, so you get their gear for free. You get to get a lot of stuff. You can either go on from there to try to kill players or just take their gear and get out. Now, this is particularly lucrative when you have a factory exit key because then you don't have to do that gate 3 exit that we just took. You don't have to take that one. Which is one of the more heavily conflicted areas on factory. It's the easiest place to die. But that, guys, is going to be on next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 1 here. A lot of explaining in episode 1, just on what we're doing, what we're all about. Let's just rehash it just a tiny bit. We're doing a full 100% playthrough series from level 1 to however far we get in this wipe. There's no real end game goals here. It's just going to keep playing until we don't play anymore. And yeah, it's going to be all the deaths, all the looting, how I like to organize my stash, what I like to prioritize. Honestly, a little secret for me is what I like to prioritize is what I'm feeling that day. I don't really have any general strategies. I like to do what I'm in the mood for, you know. But my organization stays the same. How I like to loot stays the same. How I like to approach certain scenarios stays the same. So you guys can kind of get that. No right way to play Tarkov. There's only the fun way. So do whatever you have fun with doing. Even if it's deemed not the most efficient. Efficiency isn't everything. So, but guys, I'll catch you guys on episode 2. Hopefully you enjoyed the pilot. I am new to YouTube recording, so just bear with me. I'm going to get better as time goes on. But I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe if you like the content. No worries. If not, catch us on our live streams, twitch.tv/Deadpine. We play lots of Minecraft, lots of Tarkov. It's a good, chill, fun time. Come hang out there with us. And I will catch you guys in episode 2.